Hey, universe. I'm not sure that I'll ever be ready to start this recording um, because what I've been processing for 48 hours is a cosmic, a profound series of hallucinations. I I had somewhere between 8 and 9 grams of mushrooms left, and only 3 or 4 mini caps and one decent cap plus a bunch of stems. So I wasn't all that expecting in terms of what was to be had. But 8, 9 grams, whatever, it's enough, and it was enough. But the 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 beginning of everything was rather tepid. I thought actually that I might be calling somebody to see if they wanted to come see what it looked like to have a mushroom trip not kick in. But nope, that was just the first hour and a half, where things really were slow to ramp up. But when they hit with the sort of runaway freight train delusional state of cosmic journeying like I've never been on. And the music choice certainly was part of the influence here, because all I did was have everything on random. But in my random play, in the first, I want to say about 75 minutes in, a 432 hertz chanting music like you'd hear in, I don't know, like a massage parlor or something, played for long enough that it took me 37 minutes to realize that I was listening to that and not music. I then flipped that over to, and in that period started having intense visuals of a very accelerated. I was diving into things. It was very visually thrill ride. It was like I was diving into geometric patterns or diving into waves of light and color. I mean, it was just a nonstop acceleration forward. And then when I moved the music over to something else, which played Grooves in the Heart, Delight one time, and then went into a 2.5 hour trance medley that I have, that again, I didn't really realize that I was listening to only this, because at this point I started really peaking. And the peaking period lasted through this song and into maybe a few songs after, but definitely this was the journey. And it wasn't intended. As a matter of fact, I'm pissed because there were certain songs I really wanted to listen to that never made it, because this was it. But these 2.5 hours, actually 2:45, were so profound that I kept pushing myself up, like into a sitting posture to look around and make sure that what was happening wasn't real. Because what was happening was phenomenal. And it started with a bunch of the emotional sort of progression into space and time. You know, the warping of your senses. And the colors are out of this world, and they're brilliant. It's all bright. It's all really bright. And I keep hiding under my covers because it's so bright. Like I don't know what to do with all the brilliance. And then as I'm moving through this shimmering sequence of twinkle light, diamonds, something like that. Like the brilliance of diamonds, but it's just almost like the ceiling is made of that. Like you look up and it's so brilliant, you kind of have to look down, and then you see the reflection of the light. And I kept hearing this voice say, you think that's, what was it? It was, you think that's awesome? No, it wasn't awesome. You think that's amazing. It was, you think that's amazing? Watch this. And then boom, there'd be a new scene. And I'd get fascinated by it for 5 to 45 seconds, and then it'd be the voice again. You think that's amazing? Watch this. Bam, new scene. And it wasn't to the music or anything. It was to this dazzling set of circumstances that inevitably led me to the creation of the universe. And this was all escorted by a woman named Sophia. I shit you not. I mean, and Sophia kept telling me how wonderful the universe was, because it was for the love of life that the universe existed. And without loving life, this universe can't exist, because that's the fundamental energy of this universe, is how much love of life exists everywhere. And she kept showing me all these places where I knew I'd been before. I mean, yeah, fucked up shit, man. But, and when it was unfamiliar, she'd remind me of something that would make me think that I did know this place. And I mean, I'm talking underwater scenes, up in cloud scenes. There was a sequence of bouncing among the clouds that had all of these light energy, what's the closest to, I don't even know how to describe them. Because they would zoom up and swirl you and tell you how stupendous it was, how great you were, how wonderful life is. I mean, it was just like, it was the most exhilarating, uplifting, and I've taken a lot of hallucinogens in my life. I've taken way too many hallucinogens in some situations, and I've always been lucky to never have a bad trip. And I've always had really outstanding experiences, but I've never had my mind take off into some galactic hopscotch routine of seeing further and further into creation. And then as we are approaching Earth, she's reminding me of all the times Earth has existed that I'm unaware of, but participated in. Past lives and shit. And she's just flipping through Earths, like, brrr, and you can see it. I mean, you can see everything evolving on the planet. I mean, it was just, and I can't express how much she made me feel welcomed into the glory of this universe. All of us, like anybody manifesting here, has manifested into the glory that it is to be loving life, clinging to life, so enthralled with your own life that it's the last thing in the world you want to give up. That force of energy is powerful. And Mother Earth's gift to the universe is that life force. Or at least that's what Sophia insinuated. Maybe she said it straight up. I don't remember at this point. But I'm telling you, I've just been reprocessing. When I finally realized that I had come down, the song was over. It was Jack and Diane was playing, which is mediocre in the first place. So it was an abrupt halt to the whole thing. I even remember, like, at this point, I had buried myself in my comforter, a blanket, 3 pillows. I mean, anything I could, because it was so dazzling. The final element of creation, when the universe exploded with light, I can still see it. I can shut my eyes and it is overwhelming how much light there is. It's just, it makes me either want to never do drugs again or do them this weekend. I don't know which. It's the most profound experience I've had in my life, period. And I'm not even willing to admit another half of what happened. It's just too personal. And it means, I don't know what it means. It's overwhelmed me with considerations of the highest nature, I guess. Life, the universe, and everything. I mean, at least Phoebe can sleep through the shit. She didn't sleep through that night, though. We definitely had some loving. I love being around my dog on mushrooms. And my cat. Well, I mean, as much as you can love being around my cat. But my dog, oh, cuddly, cuddly, puddly, puddly, bubbly, bubbly, sleepy, sleepy. So I've got great energy right now. I know it. I'm experiencing it. I'm thrilled to death that for once in my life I'm complete and comfortable. And the results of that simplicity are delivering again and again. Not in, I just won the lottery ways. Nope. And I appreciate my day ways. And I did win the lottery Saturday night, if you think about it. 90 minutes in, I was ready to call in somebody who could attest that this was an experience that sucked. And then, like a rocket ship, as if the very gall that that you would question the very essence and soul of the mushroom itself. Well, they certainly reminded me that that's not a good idea. Just when you thought you were going to be sitting here disappointed, you can't even see what time it is from across the room because that is too much to interpret with all the cosmic goodness that showered all over me for reasons I still don't know. Did my brain need to give me a pep rally? Do I need to feel better about myself? I feel pretty fucking good about myself. I certainly don't feel like bolts of light needed to come through the clouds as I danced on pink twilight into the distant cosmic goodness of all of creation. At least, I don't think I did. I'm already all in on how wonderful it is to be here. I already love my life. I already think everything about 8675309 Earth that isn't working out perfectly can be better. So, am I convinced that I'm doing it all perfectly? No. But if Saturday night is any sign that the cosmic current of the universe is okay with what I'm up to, well, in my universe, that's about as clear a sign as I'm ever going to get. So on that note, at 3:12 in the morning, you know what? I got to be at work in 6 hours, even less. So 14 minutes, 40 seconds, of which probably, I don't know, 4 minutes are worthwhile? 3? All right, 2. At least 2.